I've said it before on this channel and I'll say it again. Lies can be told for a significant, extended period of time, but the truth always comes out eventually, and that's because the truth is eternal. And in the coming weeks and months, I think we will see that reality manifest itself through the silver spot price, because what happened on Friday is honestly pretty laughable. Silver and gold stacking is an excellent way to escape a lot of the financial madness in this world. The gross volatility, the constant changes, and the rapid development of speculative industries can be a bit nauseating for some savers and investors. And in my opinion, silver and gold stacking is a great antidote for that. It slows things down, it makes things calm, it makes them real, and it brings the money back home. But even still, like the mass public, silver stackers do have a little bit of exposure to the lies and manipulation that goes on in today's modern world. So today, without further ado, we're going to talk about why the room isn't actually as hot as some parties would like you to believe, and why the liars are starting to break a sweat anyways. Let's get into it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe as we push hard for 7,000 subs. I hope everyone had an excellent Thanksgiving. I did. It's good to catch up with family and eat food to the point of unconsciousness. But over the weekend, the data center that supports the CME shut down for 10 hours to an alleged cooling system failure. Now, I don't want to expose too much, but I've worked somewhat close to large servers and data processing units, and I know enough to understand that on Black Friday, while everyone else is out buying gifts for their families for the holidays, there probably isn't a whole lot of action going on in the metals markets. After all, Black Friday is the largest consumer spending day of the year here in the United States, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why data centers would decide to fail then. Ironically, on the same day, silver spot price jumped multiple dollars to a new all-time high. Now, of course, this is just conspiracy. None of this is fact. I'm just giving my opinion on the situation, but technical difficulties typically happen when systems are overloaded for extended periods of time, but that wasn't on Friday. In fact, last Friday would have been the least likely day for something like this to happen. And silver's price jump on Friday is no different than any other that we've seen in the past several months. At the beginning of May, we were in the low 30s, then we shot up through the 30s to the low 40s, and then not too long after that, in the fall, we shot up into the $50 range. And in my opinion, this is just silver assuming its true value. But I do believe there are large players that would love to keep the price down to cover their own short positions. And another thing I find quite interesting about this is silver's been manipulated for years and years, but the more and more that silver's true value reveals itself, the more drastic of measures are taken by groups that have ulterior motives in this industry. And whenever I first started as a silver stacker, as my stack grew, I grew along with it. I started to begin to understand what true value is, what true money is, and how to preserve that money in the first place. And overall, it's been a very truth-revealing process as I've stacked over the past year and 9 months. I don't value material things the way I used to, and I have a much closer focus on my own finances. And as a bonus, my stack has nearly doubled in value in that amount of time. At this point, I kind of look at silver like a truth token, if that makes sense. 1 ounce of silver will always be 1 ounce of silver while the dollar continues to lose value, debt continues to be accumulated by the United States, and the trust in the United States dollar continues to decline. So while everything is going down, my silver stack has not only retained its value, it's outpaced inflation significantly. It seems like the truth is coming out finally, and I have a feeling it's going to take a while for it to reveal itself fully in the future. I think things like this are going to continue happening. And if you'd like to pick up a few more quote-unquote pieces of truth, check out PIMBEX.com. They're the sponsor of today's video. They've been so kind to support the 49's Fine channel, and they've got very nice pieces like this Frontier Mint 10-ounce frosted silver bar. So if you'd like to pick up metals at low prices with secure shipping, check out PIMBEX.com. fiat.com. Silver, of course, is a finite resource. It is now considered a critical mineral for the United States, and how technological society is now and the silver required to sustain this technological infrastructure, I feel that there's more eyes on it than ever now, for better or for worse. And it really feels like silver has become a genie that's escaped the bottle. Now, I don't think that the bull run's going to last forever. Bull runs never last forever. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. But I do feel that the value of silver will continue to rise at a steady or maybe even aggressive pace for several years. Now, in the past, the manipulation wasn't something that made the news all the time, and it most certainly wasn't something that affected trading for hours on end. But now that that figurative silver genie has left the bottle, the parties that want to keep the price down are going to have a pretty difficult time containing it once again. And I don't know if they ever will. Many people have heard the saying that reality is stranger than fiction, and I think we're living in the middle of that. I remember back when I first started silver stacking, I thought $100 silver was something that would take a decade and a half to see. And while I don't want to pump the metals or give anybody some false hope of the price action, but it does kind of look like $100 silver might get here a lot quicker than 2040. When you take a look at the fact that it is now listed as a critical mineral, something that the government self-admittedly has to have to continue functioning properly, and the fact that we keep using more and more and more of it in industry every single year, and the amount that we are mining isn't keeping up with that pace, it really does start to put emphasis on the word precious whenever talking about precious metals. If there are any long-term stackers that watch this channel, I would love to hear your story about why you started, when you started, what your dollar cost average is, and roughly how much your stack has gained value versus how much you spent stacking it in the first place. That would be amazing to listen to, because I know a lot of you out there have been stacking for an extended period of time. And despite the lies, despite the manipulation, despite the negative down talk by the media, you guys have continued to stack consistently for years on end. But like I said earlier, I think things like this will continue happening. Drastic times require drastic measures to be taken by the parties that want to keep these metals prices down. I stated in an earlier video that I think that the bull run may just be getting started. Whenever we left the gold standard in 1971, gold went on a 9-year-long bull run, and I believe that to be phase 1. The birth of fiat currency was phase 1, and now the death of fiat currency is phase 2. And I think history is going to repeat itself once again. I think we're going to experience a multi-year bull run. We're already about 2 years in, and I don't even think we've hit the halfway point yet. I'm not going to give a bold prediction as to where I think silver could be in 5 years, but in any case, no matter where the price is, I think it's going to be a bit shocking. Silver stacking used to be something very, very casual that didn't hit the wallet nearly as hard as it does today, and I think that's going to become more and more severe over time. I haven't been stacking for very long, but even I can say that I remember seeing 10-ounce bars for $225. And right now, just about anywhere you look, it's closer to $600. Time changes everything, and right now we are in a phase of significant change. And throughout history, silver and gold has played a role in every mass economic evolution for thousands of years, and that's what we're seeing right now. It's a very exciting time to be a silver and gold stacker, and I'm just happy to have you all here. I'm very thankful that you guys watch the videos, and I'm not here to say that the sky is the limit, but with how much the big banks are scrambling to keep metals prices down and the ridiculous claims that they're making to explain market outages, it gives me a strong feeling that we've got quite a bit of room to run. But the manipulation most certainly won't end. It's going to continue going. The price will continue to be suppressed even in the middle of a bull run, whether we like it or not. But at the end of the day, the truth is eternal and it has to come out. Silver is a finite resource. It's in extremely high demand, so much so that it's considered considered a critical mineral at this point by the United States government. Whether we like it or not, electric vehicles, electric transportation is getting developed, and it's going to play a big role in our society in the future, and that requires a ton of silver. There's going to be a liquidity crisis in the future, in my opinion, and as we move through time, despite all of the lies, despite all of the manipulation, we're going to get to enjoy watching how valuable the truth actually is. But anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe, keep stacking. Peace.